Hey everyone, Kyle here from Poseidon's Pets. So what I got for you today is just a quick update on the shrimp rack. So as you can see, I got some things going, so super excited. Let's get to it. All right, so I've got 3 new tanks ready to go. They have been cycling for a few weeks. I had tossed a couple tangerine tigers. So I threw 3 tangerine tigers in each tank after it cycled, just to make sure everything was good. They have been living in these tanks for a few weeks now, so everything's going good. What I'm gonna do is, I went ahead and took the tangerine tigers out of this guy, and this is gonna be my tangerine tiger tank now. So I'm gonna have a tank straight for my tang ties, and I'm gonna go ahead and move over, oh geez, that's a big glare. I'm gonna move over all of my tang ties out of the crossbreeding tank. So my blue aura, my tang tie tank, is now gonna be just a F1 first generation of those aura blues and tang ties, and then I'm gonna put all the tangerine tiger looking ones in here. So they may have some blue aura genes in there. Curious to see if they breed straight to tangerine tiger or if they have other color variations with it, if they're gonna turn out to be more of that, you know, F1 generation color after a few generations. So we'll see how that tank does. I've also got inside my coal tank, I've got a few of those red striped tang ties, so I may toss those in there as well, just to hopefully get more of those red striped tang ties, or I may put them in their own tank. For the time being, I've got some tanks I'm gonna set up. So I've got tanks to play with. So if I want to set up a straight, you know, tang tie with red striped tank, I can. So I just put these 5 tanks on the rack, and I'm gonna go ahead and get the process going of getting dirt in there, filling them up, so that way they're ready to go. I currently don't have filters or air lines for them, or lids, so I may wait to put water in them. I may start putting water in them. We'll see what's going on. But like I said, this is just gonna be a quick update video for you guys on what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and tinker around in here, and then once I decide on what path I'm taking, I'll cut back and give you guys an update. So stay tuned. All right, after some careful consideration, I decided to move the black King Kongs and some of the tangerine tigers into their tanks. So tangerine tigers going into the tangerine tiger tank, black King Kongs going into the new black King Kong tank. So super exciting. I'm curious to see how these guys do. So that first set of videos was taken back early July, mid-July, and I've done a lot in the shrimp room since then. I've been so busy with Aquashella, the YouTube, and you know, just life in general. I haven't been able to get that update video out. So this is a like update video on the update video. Gonna give you guys a full up-to-date update as of, what's today? August 31st. So today is August 31st. This is the newest and latest and greatest of what's going on in the shrimp room. So as you saw, I moved all the tangerine tigers into one tank. I moved all the black King Kongs into one tank. I have now moved all of my orange eye blue tigers into one tank. All my Calceos didn't really do well, as you guys know. We won't bring that up again. And the rest of them are doing pretty good. So let's go ahead and do a more in-depth update on the update. I added light covers. So these are just, what is it, plastic, corrugated plastic that I spray painted, and then I attached magnets. So as you see, oh, magnet came off there, but just corrugated plastic on magnets, and makes it look a lot nicer. As you can see, gives it more of a complete look. But let's go check out the tanks and what I've got in each tank now that most of them are running and have shrimp in them. First up, Black King Kong, Orange Eye Blue Tiger cross tank. Still have a few babies, still have a couple buried females in there. So what I'm doing is I'm waiting for these guys to release their babies. I'm going to let the babies grow a little bit and then transfer them to their respected tanks. Calceo tank, going to be broken down and set up with, package there, ADA Amazonia. So I'm going to try my hands with some ADA. I like Brightwell, but I'm thinking for more complex Taiwan bees and Thai bees that they need something that's going to buffer that substrate or buffer that water way farther than Brightwell has been doing for me. My tiger tanks do amazing on Brightwell, but I feel that I need to add something that's going to buffer the pH down a little bit more for some of those more rare, hard to breed shrimp. Aura Blues and Tangerine Tiger Cross, those guys are doing well. You can see there. Blue Bolts. So Blue Bolts, I recently took all of the mostly white, low grade Blue Bolts, some of the ones that you might have seen me enter into the contest, in the middle of water changes, put them in the coal tank. So got a lot of Blue Bolts in that coal tank now. My mixed pinto tank, I recently added a few black fancy tigers to this tank, which I'm going to be taking those guys out here shortly. So you can see that I've got quite a few pintos in here, some blacks and reds, thanks to Poe, as well as Mike Coleman, Shelly Speet, Lucky Aquatics. This has been a multiple breeder tank as of right now, but don't know if you could see back there. I've got babies. So Red Pinto released some eggs, which is nice. Curious to see how they do. There's, I counted about 5 or so in there, but if you know anything about baby shrimp, there's probably a butt ton more. Black King Kong tank. This tank struggled for a little bit. I was getting deaths every so often. I may have jumped the gun of adding shrimp to this tank before it was ready, which, you know, follow my own advice and, you know, let the tank season quite a bit before adding more shrimp to them. But they're doing good now. I like the almost shadow panda colors on them because that white is almost blue, so I'm hoping to breed that out more. I know that's more of a low grade Black King Kong, to where these original colony members were Black King Kong extremes, very little white on them. I'm digging that shadow panda look, so, you know, it may not be the ideal for everyone, but I'm going to do what I want to do, and I like that color. Tang ties, just breeding like crazy. Absolutely amazing, doing their thing. If you watched my Aquashella video, red crystals, pretty soon I'm going to take these guys, move them to the crystal tank. The golden bees. So I know I said in the video, oh, I may have jinxed myself. Had 2 deaths in this tank since my last update video, so I'm down to 4 of these guys instead of the 6. As well as the Calceos, red Calceos. I've got 1 buried female in here and then a male, and that's it. They're just dropping like flies. So been talking to Rob Bloomfield over at Shrimp Envy, and he was saying that he keeps his Calceos at 6 GH, closer to 160 TDS, 200 TDS. So I think I'm going to give that a shot and see how it goes. You know, raise the TDS on this tank a little bit. Crystal tank, after I took all the adults out, left the babies to grow up, there is absolutely a lot of crystals in this tank. Still have 1 large female in here. She released her eggs already, so going to be transferring these guys to the crystal tank as well, and then going to be taking this tank down and putting ADA in it. Going to be moving the blue bolts down to one of these tanks here, putting ADA in here. So this is going to be ADA, this is going to be ADA, this is going to be ADA, as well as that tank there. Last tank with shrimp in it, Orange Eye Blue Tigers. So I have a lot of orange eyes, which I love these guys, and they seem to do well on the Brightwell, so we're gonna let them do their thing in this tank. Got some low grades and some high grades, just want the colony to reproduce, and then I'll start separating them out. But as of right now, these 2 tanks are ready to go, all cycled with Brightwell. So gonna be throwing blue bolts in that one, and then I might do the black fancy tigers in here. Haven't decided 100% yet as of right now. Just did a water change on most of the tanks, so I didn't change this one, and I didn't change the crystals because those are going to be going into the 20 gallon. These guys are going to be going into their respected tanks, so either the orange eye black tiger tank or the black King Kong tank. So it's going well, it's doing good, getting a lot of stuff done. I really like how this rack looks completed. Once again, orange eye blue tiger black King Kong tank, tearing that down, making it ADA. Empty tank, making that ADA. Green auras, I'm just gonna let them do their thing. They don't care. Tigers are pretty hardy. They don't care. They can stay there. They can live in that old substrate. They're just gonna continue to breed, do their thing. Blue bolts are gonna be taken to one of the lower tanks. Pintos, eventually I'm going to be splitting the pintos up, as well as taking the black fancy tigers out. So black pintos, red pintos will be in their own tanks. Black King Kongs, brand new tank, newly set up, just gonna let them do their thing. Tang ties, like the auras, just gonna keep breeding, being that factory. Crystal tank, this will be broken down, well not broken down, it's a brand new tank setup, but I'm gonna take these shrimp out of here and add something else, so that'll be a free tank to do what I want with. So they'll probably live their days in that tank until I decide to break it down. There's a bunch of babies in there right now, so I'll let this colony kind of grow and then I'll mix it with the other crystals. Golden bees, I really like these guys. I like how they look. I want to get more so I can have a larger colony to start with. So they're gonna stay there, do their thing. Calceos, I'm going to slowly raise the TDS of this tank up to about 160, shoot for that 6 GH. Back at my old house, I was using refill stations to get water, and my GH was close to 6, so that's why my Calceos were doing so good. So I'm just going to go back to that, and hopefully I can get some more Dragon Bloods, get some more Reds. Crystal tank, going to be broken down, going to be set up with ADA. Tigers, going to continue to do their thing. Eventually I will take the low grades out and just keep the royal blue tigers in there. And then of course 2 blank tanks. Spot for all new tanks. Spots for all new tanks. So I've got a spot for 7 tanks here, 7 tanks there. So I can expand, I can do quite a bit. Like tangerine tigers do, after adding the colony to this tank, they have absolutely exploded. You can see that there's tons of buried females in there. You could even see that red striped tangerine tiger, which I really hope I can start to get those genes to reproduce, and that way I can set up a tank of those red stripes, because if I can mix those red stripes with the orange eyes, I could try to make my own orange eye red tigers, which would be really cool. So these guys look awesome. Excited for this tank and glad that they transitioned well. Tangerine tigers are definitely one of my favorites just because of how prolific they are. These guys breed like crazy. If you need tangerine tigers, let me know. I've got a lot of them. I'm willing to sell them off. Just let me know and I can ship them out through the US. Definitely disappointed in this tank with the casualties I had, but it is my own fault. I jumped the gun on throwing these guys into the tank, but the Black King Kongs have bounced back. They're doing well. Haven't seen any buried females yet, but I know they will. A lot of those juveniles are getting bigger. They're getting to the appropriate age to start breeding. So pretty soon this tank's gonna take off and it's gonna do well. So definitely excited for the Black King Kongs to reproduce, and hopefully I can create some of those shadow pandas. So may have to cross them with something else, but we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna selectively breed those colors out. Mixed pinto tank. These guys look great. I do have a lot of males in here, but as you saw, they're starting to breed, so hopefully I can get a decent colony of the reds, decent colony of the blacks, and start to split them up. I'm also going to be getting some more black fancy tigers, so that way I can create a colony of those Wouldn't mind some more red fancy tigers. With seeing how prolific my tigers have been, I want to branch out into more tiger shrimp. I want to get more tigers so that way I can just have those booming colonies that I love to see. And I do well breeding tigers, so if that's something I do well, let's focus on that and get that going while I prepare to do better at the other stuff I do. But tigers look amazing, the pintos look amazing. Can't wait to see how this tank turns out. So this short update video has led into a long update video, but YouTube likes long videos, you guys like long videos, so we're gonna leave it. The shrimp are doing better, so I stopped basically adding stuff to the tanks. So if you know my regimen, I was adding Brightwell Florinbacter, I was adding Brightwell Blackwater, I was doing powdered foods, I was adding all kinds of stuff to the tanks, and I would just watch my adults die. So add that with a lot of water changes and it just wasn't good. So with the new shrimp room, I've kept things really basic. 10% water change every 10 days. You know, I'm not adding any Florinbacter anymore, not adding any Florin Blackwater, and everything's been good. You know, the shrimp are breeding again and everybody's happy. Stopped adding powdered foods. As soon as I started adding Florinbacter, as soon as I started adding powdered foods, I started seeing more deaths. So I'm gonna leave it where it is, and then once I get them breeding, once they're doing good again, then I can start to experiment with different foods and different substances to help them grow better. But as of right now, let's just keep them from not dying, which I'm a good shrimp keeper. You guys watch my videos because I am a good shrimp keeper. I just had a little bit of bad luck, had a little bit of some tanks going awry, but you know, everything is good. So thank you guys so much for everything, you know, watching all my videos and supporting me, as well as everybody out there who reaches out and offers advice. I appreciate it. I'm still learning. I've been keeping shrimp for 2 years, so there's always stuff to learn. If you see something I'm doing, you're like, no, don't do that, that's not right, leave me a comment. I don't mind. I'm always down to learn more. I'm always down to grow, so tell me how you really feel. Yeah. But thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, 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 bye.